Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ebb and Flow.
Hi, Monica. So nice to have you.
We're
Hi,
so
ladies. Thank
honored.
you. Oh, the honor's mine.
We're so honored to have you and to have our audience get to know a little bit about you, your story, your journey. But before we do that, we want to show you a little
A
something,
sneak
a
peek.
little
We want to
preview.
see your reaction.
Is this ebb and flow? Oh my goodness. Oh no, look at that. That's amazing.
Yes,
I
look
love
at that.
it.
That's your spread.
Oh,
And
that is so cool.
Yeah, you're on it.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Monica is going to be joining us in Puerto Peñasco at our upcoming retreat, and she is going to be helping guide different sessions for our retreat attendees to understand how to basically reconnect with their mind in a way that allows things to be fully felt and processed, and for us to, work with that. And you call it mental fitness, correct? You call,
Yes. Yep,
yes.
that's what we call our workouts in Avance. Yeah, we call it mental fitness, mental health workouts, a little
I
mental fitness
love.
routine.
I love because it is, right? Our mind is just like another
Yeah.
muscle that we, with exercise, right? With the right techniques, we can befriend and it can actually be working for us and not so much in this like, often chaotic way that we
Yeah.
navigate our lives.
Yeah.
So
So tell us about how you
Absolutely.
got into this work and what you do and
Yeah.
the resources and tools that you develop for all of us to use.
I've been an LPC, a licensed professional counselor for a few years now, and a therapist for like 15 years. And there's been two things happening. Yeah, it's been a long time. When I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's been two things happening. And one was like talking to a lot of people, just from like a lot of ages, right? And I didn't realize it until like a few years ago. And I was like, oh, like I've been picking up a lot on what's working, not working, like what people keep asking, what they keep doing or not. So I just started to really see like, oh, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern of what all of us, like it doesn't even, it's not specific to like a particular issue. It's like we all have feelings and thoughts. I just started seeing a lot of that. And then I was going through my own. Since I was 13, I've had a body focused repetitive behavior. They call it a BFRB, but mine's hair pulling. And like a lot of people, right? Like everybody has maybe some behavior that like just you keep doing it and you're like, this helps me, but I want to stop.
oh,
Yeah.
you're so right.
Yeah, to cope. Oh my gosh. And I mean, if you look at any behaviors, right? Like, so for a lot of people, it can be maybe like alcohol or just something else that's like this thing that makes us feel better and it helps us get through, right?
Relief, right?
So
It gives you that little relief for a
yeah,
second.
yeah, you're like, ah, I feel,
All that's something that we can't control.
yeah, yeah. And then it becomes uncontrollable, right? And
Mhm.
so I had dealt with that and still like deal with that as like an issue. And so Avance really came out of a mix of like what works for everybody, what I needed, what I see they need, and was like a lot. I mean, everything we do is evidence-based. We kind of pull from all the stuff that works and we're like, let's do it all in a routine, in an order.
So you spent many years talking to people throughout your career, right, in this space, and you started to realize, oh, there's a pattern here. This is the anxiety shows up in this way, right? And these tics and these nervousness and these mannerisms of ours that really do give away what we're going through internally in our mind if you know what to spot and what to look for, which you
Yeah.
do, correct?
Absolutely. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. And then you know it too, because as soon as you start paying attention, you're like, oh, I did it again. Or you're like,
Ooh.
oh, I said no again, or I said yes, or I dropped the thing, or I'm like, you're starting to be like, oh, I keep doing that thing.
It becomes hyper present, hyper aware, and you kind of can't unsee it, right? Which is part of what you start to
Yeah,
kind of retrain people in. And so share a
absolutely.
little bit about what these exercises or what these approaches are and what would like a
Yeah.
typical session with you look like
Hmm.
when we do these mental fitness
Yeah.
exercises.
So we basically have two components. I like to describe it, which it makes it really simple, but we start off with awareness and we have our second half are like action oriented exercises. And so our first half is a lot of your mindfulness, a lot of acceptance. We kind of go through a couple of different exercises that guide you in some of those orders. So your first kind of like just with your body. We do body scan is one of our exercises, just focusing in on scanning the body. And as we move through them, towards the middle, you're kind of like, okay, I know all the things I've been doing. And I like to call it that space in there, your like self-knowledge, where you're really just getting a lot of knowledge now about like, oh, that's where I'm at right now. Like that's just
Like that inner truth
right.
starts to speak.
Yeah. Oh.
We're tuning into it rather than kind of, yeah, brushing it off or maybe not even giving space or time for that to even come to the surface, right?
Yeah, yeah, Avance has a lot of meditative components in it, but I would say it's like being handheld through meditation and then we don't want to just like stay there. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I started meditating, I was always just like, okay, and now like like what now?
I put it
And I
into
kept yeah. And so the second half, we then kind of start to take that, like, okay, you have information and we want to capture it and we want to use it. And now we want to start building our plan for the day, for the next couple of hours, for the next activities, a little problem solving, and we start to go into some prompts and some other exercises that then shift us
by the end of the
into
session, you
then.
feel like most people have clarity as to like, all right, this is where I'm at. I acknowledged it. Meditated with it, and now here I can go into my day-to-day life with practical things that I can then do.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's like a clarity piece and
Mm.
a stress reduction piece. And I hate to say it sometimes because I'm like facing your like realities really does help. But but it's a hard thing to do.
What do you see a lot of the common theme from your who you see? Is it self-worth issues? Is it boundaries? Is it what do you find right now that it's a lot of the
Mhm.
big issue that we have to work towards?
Honestly, I hear it so much, both in these sessions and then just like in general.
Hmm.
Um, Ignoring ourselves, like ignoring literally what you were feeling. We dismiss it so fast, like
And
daily.
They
Yeah, like we just ignore little and it's little things sometimes.
that are trying
But
to get our attention, right? That are like,
yeah,
hey, I didn't like the way that you broke your boundary and you didn't say no when you really
yeah,
wanted to say, and all these little,
yes,
almost
so the
like,
self-trust.
yeah, like break moments of
very much
self-trust
self-trust.
breaking throughout the
See,
day. And then we're like, oh, why do I feel so
yes.
mad, so low? Because we haven't stayed true to ourselves.
Wow.
Yes. I feel
Hmm.
like that one is like the big, outside of even, I don't know, anything else, just listening. Even
Yeah.
if you still, let's say you still say yes when you wanted to say no, and you still chose, you still did the thing and you were happy about it even then, but just like validating that that was your decision and that you're still gonna have to take care of it later.
Right,
So,
instead of pretending
so
like it wasn't and then not taking accountability for our actions that have a
Yes.
reaction and a consequence.
Consequences.
yes,
So
that
do
one.
you find that in your sessions you have certain aha moments where people just kind of like, wow, I needed to hear that, or wow, it felt so good, so liberating to just admit it or put it out loud, say it out loud.
I feel like that's literally always it. It's the, oh, like, yes, I am tired. Like, oh wow, like yeah, I need to stop, you know.
Overgive.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm overgiving and as soon as and this is the aha really is as soon as you listen to it you feel better. The relief
Yes,
starts.
something so powerful about when you name something, when you bring it to the surface, it
You
almost
face
loses its
it.
power over
Yeah.
you
It
because you
does.
now have that awareness to be like, oh, it's not unconscious anymore.
And it's not that
Yeah.
big of a deal or outside of yourself. So when I'm sure when they're having these conversations with you, they hear it differently
Mhm.
outside of themselves instead of talking to themselves in their heads and convincing themselves that's not
Yeah.
that big.
Absolutely. I feel like we're so good at convincing ourselves too. Like we're like, no, it's
Yeah,
okay.
we
It's fine.
appreciate
It's
it.
okay. I feel
Appreciate
like that.
We totally are. And one thing that I want to touch on, and something that I really love when I heard your story, is about making the destigmatizing the
Mm.
re- the way we view therapy or the way that we view these sessions. So I know for you, you were very intentional with your wording, right? With everything, because just even people hearing like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get therapy," it's like, some
talk
people.
therapy.
Yeah, so you've
Yeah.
reworded it to be mental fitness, right? Which is a whole different
Yeah.
approach. So maybe
Perspective.
share a little bit about that and
Yeah. No, thank you for asking that question actually, because that's like literally what Advance Help, the business and the model and the whole thing is about. It's us really not, it's not therapy. Like, so it's a few things like we don't promise like treatment. And what I like to say is it's not specific to like an issue or a problem. And I feel like that's the point is like come into Avance, come into a mental fitness just because you have a brain and a body and you have feelings and thoughts and behaviors every day and it's like
it's reality that is
and you're
crazy.
living in this crazy reality, yes, where you have like all this
Everything.
stuff going on. Yes. And
Yeah.
and so at any point it would be a good idea to be like, let me go check in and just work some of these exercises, strengthen my mind, strengthen my internal resources and my feelings and my thoughts just because and then especially when you're like, oh, I'm having a really hard month or something happened in life and like it would be even more important for me to maybe come in and just give myself some attention, literally.
Building that resilience, right? To navigate. It's not necessarily that, things get any easier per se. Like you're still going to be dealing with crazy kids that are yelling at, like your life is still going to be very much the same, but how you respond and how you engage and how you relate to it
And manage it.
will be
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's it, right? That's like mindset, that's mental well-being, that is your resilience. It's exactly that. It's like how we respond to it, which isn't easy because how many of us are like, "Ah!"
Yeah,
No.
reactive.
And then we might
Yeah, it's
be
like, oh,
morning, right? You wake up, everything's great, and all of a sudden
One thing.
one thing throws you off, and then you're in a mood, and then it ruins your whole day. And it's like, wow,
how
Yeah.
fast.
yeah. And then our weeks go by, and we can be in a funk, right? Which we do
Or
often get
spiral.
into, or spiral, or have breakdowns, or cry after work every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 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 And
So
while therapy, and I recommend like therapy and coaching and all the things, I wanted this to be something easy that it's like, yeah, you know what? You had that really hard day. Like jump in and our intention and hope is that like you go through a workout and then it helps you do something different within your day. Kind literally like a physical workout where you're like, I went and I got stronger and I felt better and then like I could go lift more. I could go do more.
Better after a workout, so why not just
Mhm.
talk through this? And it's always,
yeah.
you're always going to benefit in a positive way.
Yeah, and just like anything else that we do for our wellness, right? Having this be a part of our day-to-day life, having a way of saying like, okay, I'm feeling off or I'm feeling something's eating me up. Let me go check in with Avance, right? Which I know they're going to listen to me, they're going to hold space while at the same time give me practical, applicable things that I will then take on. So give me an example of like one exercise that somebody would do or that you have recommended for people to do like at their desk when they're like typing away an Excel report or something, and it crashes.
Or driving. Someone cuts you off.
That's
Or
funny.
breathing exercise.
What would you
So
recommend?
yeah, I actually so it's kind of funny. The breathing exercises that we do in Avance are always kind of like we do them in between other exercises, kind of like your like your recovery, like your recovery between some other exercises in the workout. That's how we practice them. We kind of will do a deep breathing, then we'll shift into like a more cognitive or somatic
Yeah, like let's
exercise.
unravel, let's unpack here, let's
Yeah.
bring out the
Because
truth.
it is work. They
Yeah.
are
And
putting
then
in
they're like,
Oh
work.
my
"Mm,
gosh.
I have
It
to
is work.
recognize that I am angry a lot, that maybe the
Yes.
problem is me."
Yes. It's a lot of ownership of like, oh, sitting
Yeah,
with
The
me,
mirror.
it was me, I did this.
oh, it's all me. But I
Yeah.
think the breathing exercises are the easiest, the most powerful, the most effective, to be honest. And I think I'll say this just because I've heard it a lot from people of like they'll kind of dismiss breathing exercises like, oh, it's just breathing exercises. I think a lot of us will do that like, oh, like I'm breathing all the time, like
Yeah,
it's not a
we take
It's
it for
too
granted, let's
easy.
be honest. But most of
Yeah.
us don't even know how to breathe right.
no,
Yeah.
no. And then even when like we practice, I'm like, there's days that I'm like, oh, I didn't do any deep breathing today. Like I
Yeah.
have not had a deep breath
Or you
today.
forget to
You're
breathe and
like,
you're like,
sometimes I'll let out a sigh and I'm
Yep.
like, oh, wow, I had really been holding it in for a while.
a
A
suspiro.
suspiro, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the most powerful because it's
Yeah.
always with you. It's literally very
Mm,
simple. Once you do, you're like,
yeah.
oh, like look at that.
Once
Like,
you take it seriously,
wow.
and
You're
you
grounded.
actually, yeah, and you treat it as like, wow, it's our breath. It's the most constant thing we have day in, day out, every second, right? So if we can come back to that, then we realize, oh, most of the things that are happening in my reality are exaggerated or blown up based on my
Yeah.
emotional state and my dysregulated nervous system.
Oh my gosh, that especially, absolutely, that things are a lot bigger just from our own perception or understanding and reactions to
Can
things.
someone like you can help bring that like sometimes over dramatic or like my life is miserable and this and that, and it's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
once we bring it to the light, most of the time it's really not that insane, right? But
In worst
Not
case
that big.
scenario, it's probably the best case
Yeah.
scenario.
so if somebody were to be tuning in to what we're saying here right now, what would you say is the biggest recommendation or tip or actionable item they can take away into their day-to-day lives about whether it's therapy, whether it's about mental fitness, whether it's about rewiring their nervous system? What would you say is your biggest takeaway from everything that you've gotten to experience?
Honestly, I would say try not to lie to yourself. Like, try not to lie to yourself. Like, try to be honest with you. And you don't have to tell anybody else. Like, you can lie to them all day. I don't care. But try,
Hey,
yeah, but
trip with
try
yourself.
not to lie to yourself about what you want, about why you're doing it, about what you need. Try to just not
Yeah.
lie to you.
We're abandoning ourselves every time, right?
Are so
And it's so
much.
like
We
our
leave.
inner child, our inner girl, our young.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, I'm just trying to get your attention
Yeah.
here that, you know?
Or be validated or people please or stay in the wrong job or in the wrong
Mm.
relationship just for them and lying to ourselves that this is what we want.
Absolutely. And then, I mean, you can just imagine, right? Because from there, we're stuck in all this like life and all this stuff for everyone and fears, right? Fears that like, oh, I'm gonna get mad or I'm gonna lose a friend if I don't say or do this or like, so we start doing all of that. But if you stay true and you don't lie and you're just like, no, I'm too tired to do that. I would love to help you, but I can't, or I can, but not today, or like, then you're living your truth and then things will just that will either happen or they won't, and that's okay. It's
It's
okay.
okay. You don't feel that resentfulness toward yourself or to others, right? When it's you're not honoring your own boundary of staying true to what you felt. If you didn't have the energy, then thank you, but not right now.
Yeah. Which is about living a life of alignment and authenticity with yourself.
And from that space, everything
Absolutely.
flows, right? We know this. We know.
Yes. I love that. Yes, everything really does flow from there because then you're like, okay, it either does or it doesn't, and
Yeah.
it's okay. It's
And you didn't
okay.
betray yourself. You did not abandon yourself. You didn't gaslight your own self into convincing yourself that this was what you
Yeah.
wanted when it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And you might still like let's even go there, right? Because like you might still be sad or something that like, oh, this didn't work out or I can't do the thing. Or
Yeah. We will feel that too, especially if it's something that we were super hopeful and like attached to, right? Because we do attach ourselves to outcomes. Yeah.
Or you're in the middle of having to choose two things, two great
Mhm.
opportunities, but mine what might be more calling to you at this moment in time, and it's hard to let the other one go. That's also another.
Yeah. Yeah, we
It's
shed
so true.
layers all the time. We shed layers, we shed roles, we shed appearances that we once maintained and upkept, right? Part of that is letting
So
go.
complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so complex, but if you continue to just go and choose that truth, at least for
Mhm.
yourself, then you're going back to like resiliency, you're growing, you're choosing, like we're all changing anyway all the time, right? Like regardless, right? Change is just happening. So, but now you're kind of like, oh, I'm aligning, I'm flowing with it as it happens. And that just feels good.
So beautiful. I'm so excited for the ladies that we meet you
I'm so excited too.
and we are
I'm
so
so
happy
excited.
that yes, we get to have you and your
That is
story
amazing.
and for people to get to be open to this, right? And again, demystify it or not make it a taboo topic because truthfully, it is the greatest gift that we can give to ourselves.
Yeah.
Radical honesty, radical self-acceptance, and from that, everything that we
Plus.
create flows. As
Thank
we
you,
I
are.
love that.
Monica.
I love
Thank
that.
you. Um,
Thank you guys,
how
ladies,
can
so
people
much.
get connected to you? Do you mind sharing like where you're most present or what online or yeah, share with us a little bit
Yeah.
about how we can connect with you.
Yeah, probably the two most easiest ways are either our website, which is avancinarizona.com, or through Instagram, and it's the same handle, Avance in Arizona. And so those are probably the two fastest, easiest ways to learn about us, send us a message, and just kind of follow along.
Beautiful. And we'll tag all that in our post and everything. But I do want to say and acknowledge that your heart is so gracious, Monica, that you make this accessible and affordable to everyone.
Mhm.
You could
That is literally
price
our point.
and really be good for the session. So
Yeah.
truly
Yeah.
take advantage of this. Anybody that's tuning in, you don't have to be going through some crazy life event to
Or
it,
wait for a crazy life event to happen to
right.
you.
Yeah, just start learning the tools, the techniques, the space, right, for you to acknowledge what you're navigating through. It's all valid, it's all fair, and how beautiful that you get to share it with somebody that is going to hold space and that can guide you in having better control of your mind, your emotions, and all of that. So we're
Thank you.
so honored to have you. Thank you for
Wonderful. Thank you.
we will
Thank
be
you, lady.
soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
Have a beautiful rest of your day, Monica. Bye bye.
You guys too. Appreciate you.